I am Bobby Hoon, and let's queer up entertainment. Jonathan Bailey says he risked career by refusing to hide his sexuality. The 38-year-old star of fellow travelers Bridgerton and Wicked spoke candidly during a conversation with Sir Elton John for the inaugural Elton John Impact Awards podcast series, distributed by iHeartMedia. Bailey said, quote, "I was well aware of the possibilities and the limits of queer actors and what that means to an audience and whether that bleeds into commerce and how it affects it," end quote. Bailey said that in his early 20s, he believed being gay would be a hindrance in the entertainment industry, especially during a time before marriage equality became law in England in 2014 and the United States in 2015. Still, Bailey said he refused to hide his relationship in public. He shared, quote, "I wasn't going to hold my boyfriend's hand in the street, and that was something that I felt so strongly in an animal sense. And of course, if that meant that it was going to impede my potential work, then I was willing to take that risk," end quote. The actor also reflected on the importance of queer representation in film and television, crediting stories like Brokeback Mountain for helping him feel seen and hopeful about the future of LGBTQ plus generations. And here is the irony of course, I mean, according to conservative propaganda, queerness is everywhere in entertainment. And we do have a lot of, not enough, but we do have representation in queer representation in media a lot, but on the other hand, queer actors are told to be careful with their public image and basically be quiet about their personal life, or else they don't get work, because some people have parasocial people and people who are fans, who are, people who are obsessed with celebrity lives. They tend to think, oh, if the actor is queer, then he shouldn't take on any straight roles. Meanwhile, straight people take gay roles all the time.
It's called acting.
Yes. And
it's to make it more palatable, I think, in the executives' understanding of what it means to be a star, or what it means to be an actor working in Hollywood. They want to be able to make you as generic as possible. I mean, I say it's my ADHD that prevents me from watching a lot of movies, and that's partially true, but a lot of it is because they're boring and they're generic and there's not much going on. And I think that they try to boil it down to the most common denominator possible. And the most common denominator is, like a straight, heterosexual guy. And, they want these little girls and these teenagers, whoever, to be able to imagine that one day they're going to be able to get that guy on the screen. So if you live your if you live your queer life, then you're kind of cutting off their fantasy.
Yeah, that could be some of it, but I think there's two things with this. I think Jonathan Bailey is very onto something, not just with being a performer. I think all queer people in America, when it comes to work, being out to this day is still a hindrance. And, I normally am the type that's always going and saying that LGBTQ groups don't do anything. But like when they survey queer people on our work experiences, whether they be in acting, be in an office, be working at a fast food restaurant, like, there's so much. We've all experienced this. We've all
guys. I'm going to be a little vulnerable right now, but I feel like I'm in a safe space. I'm gay. I hope that's okay with everybody. I haven't come out, but I feel like, what, I'm with friends right now, and our viewers are friends. So I just want to say, everybody, I hope that makes you still take me seriously.
Well, as long as you wash your hands.
I do.
But if Bailey is 38. Then his early 20s would have been like less than 20 years ago. Which
I'm
brings
38.
us to the early 2000s. So I think by that time, especially after the successes of Will and Grace and Brokeback Mountain, things were definitely changing in
the positive
actors'
direction,
favors, for sure. But I would say I'm glad he took the risk and came out. And if he needs a boyfriend to walk down the street and hold his hand,
I think he's married.
Aren't you married, Greg?
And you're married.
A polycule.
I'd hold his hand. Okay.
No, I was just going to say, just researching this before we went on air, it's interesting that Jonathan Bailey actually did part of a dissertation on movies, including Brokeback Mountain, because I wanted to see what the connection was. Sure. And I thought, good for him. And Elton John has always been a personal hero to me. I remember when he was grappling in public with his image, and I was very young then, I was a child. And, you know, I'd ask my mother questions, and I remember a DJ saying something kind of hurtful, and I said, why would they say that about him? But then later when Elton came out, it was a full circle. But he's been a hero. You know, I knew he was always different, and, you know, he's still
He's a rocket man.
he is a rocket man. Yeah.
There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.